football. It's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, the latest and greatest developments in the saga that is Ben Eubank are in right now. So, Conor Benn took to social media. He posted a picture with a really stoic, really shrewd look on his face. He was kind of like that, like all pissed off and mad at the world. And he was in his house, and he was in a nice little like black and white collared shirt with his tattoos hanging out, looking real serious, pissed off, fired up, and motivated for greatness. He means business. And the caption on the picture says, I quote, "I've been through hell and back. Thank God for the science. The evidence doesn't lie. There is no holes in the truth." Now, I remember when all this happened, like when he tested positive for clomiphene, the woman's fertility drug. I remember it was on Seconds Out, right? Seconds Out. It was who's that guy's name? Montoya, Gabriel Montoya, the PED expert that been in boxing, been around in boxing for a while. Danny Flexton and Seconds Out had him on there, and I watched the interview. And this is like a month and a half, 2 months ago. And he broke down the whole situation, the PEDs, how they work, things like that. And he had pretty much came out and said this, and this is back in like November, October-ish, sometime around like early when this happened, like November, October, maybe even September. It was a while ago. And he pretty much said that he said that Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, Conor Benn, and all parties involved, we're going to let a lot of time go by, and then they're going to come out and say that it was the science, and the science proves that they are innocent, and the science proves that they did not take PEDs. And here we are, sitting here in the middle of January, all these months later, and that's exactly what Conor Benn is doing. He's talking about the science, the evidence doesn't lie, this, that, and the third. So it sounds like Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and all parties involved have found a loophole to try to get his name cleared. Now, personally, look, who am I to judge? Like, I'm nobody. I'm just a kid from Dania, Florida, with a boxing channel who loves the sport, with flamingo paintings on his wall and pictures of Rocky Balboa and Florida Panthers players from the 90s and yesteryear. I'm just a regular guy who loves boxing, passionate about the sport. So who am I to judge a guy like Conor Benn who's given his life to the sport? It's not my place. But what I will say is the optics of all this look horrible for him. I mean, they look bad. He tested positive not once but twice. Eddie Hearn didn't report like one of the drug tests, and then he's been sat quiet for months, not saying nothing, not doing anything to clear his name, and now he want to talk about science. He want to talk about Pythagorean theorem. He want to talk about freaking the scientific method and E equals MC squared and the periodic table of elements and all this, foolishness, this debauchery. But anyway, Chris Eubank himself came out and he responded to all this, and I'll read you guys what he said and I'll dissect from there. He stated the following, and I quote, "I'm pretty sure it was a science that detected the illegal substances in your system on 2 separate occasions, Conor. So yes, absolutely. Thank God for science. Otherwise, I would have been fighting the Hulk a few months ago." So Chris Eubank Jr. Poking a lot of fun at Conor Benn. Now, let me say 2 things. First and foremost, I agree. Thank God for science, because we know that Eubank was immediately drained, and this guy was going to be a science experiment on that extra super duper califragilistic. He's gonna have those substances in his system ready to tee off on Chris Eubank. So thank God for science that we didn't get that fight at that particular time. But my other theory on this is now, we have this fight coming up. It's going to be in 4 days from the time he's shooting this. It's January 17th, 3:23 Eastern Standard Time, AM, here in South Florida. Chris Eubank is getting ready to fight Liam Smith. This is a fight that genuinely, unless you're in the UK, most people wouldn't care about. But now with all this controversy, the timing of this couldn't be more perfect. Now this comes out, more controversy, more quotes, more things to talk about. So I really do see all of this as a way for Conor Benn to help Chris Eubank sell his fight, because it'll thus in turn help them sell their fight when they inevitably, because they are going to fight. Like, I genuinely think they are going to fight. As I've stated many times, Eddie Hearn loves many things in life, but he loves nothing more than a good pound note. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what he's going to be making a lot of if this fight happens. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're going to fight. I think it's a bad look. You know, I'm not trying to judge. Listen, genuinely, I like Conor Benn. I hope he's innocent. I hope that, you know, he didn't cheat and it was all just some sort of misunderstanding. But it's just hard to, for me personally, like, it's hard to reconcile when you look at all the factors. Eddie Hearn not reporting the first drug test, failing multiple drug tests, sitting quiet for months, now talking about periodic table of elements and E equals MC square and science and all this nonsense. So it's just, it's a really sad state of affairs, because I feel like Conor Benn was beginning to become a net positive for boxing, but now he's going to become a guy that's going to be very scrutinized and vilified. And you know, it's not that's not necessarily a bad thing for him business-wise, because like the old quote says, you know, you either die a hero or you live long enough for people to see you become the villain. And I feel like he's kind of reached that stage of his life and his career due to choices and the circumstances that he's in. So yeah, that's the news. Conor Benn, he's saying the science doesn't lie. He says there's no holes in the truth. He says he's been through hell and back. And E equals MC squared, you know, uranium, platinum, palladium, the periodic table of elements are saving Conor Benn. Science is saving Conor Benn. So make of that what you will. And let me know if you guys agree with me. Do you guys think that this is a way for Eddie Hearn to help sell Eubank versus Liam Smith? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this video, click right here and make sure you subscribe. Much love from sunny South Florida.